everyone. Welcome back to RTS and welcome to another 15-minute mixer. So you know what that means. Set the timer, get something to drink, maybe not in that order, and let's do something together for 15 minutes or so. So let's just hang out and let's answer a couple questions and about something that is coming in October I want you to look out for. So Nancy Joe wanted to know if I would show my green papers, my loose papers, because recently I did a video about sorting papers, and so she said, could you show your green? How did that end up? And basically it ended up the same way as the turquoise, light, bright, medium, and dark, but then I also too added my lovely jadeite green. And so jadeite green is absolutely this color right here, this beautiful, luscious, yes, and the reason it's my favorite is because I have a collection of Fire King jadeite dishes, 40s, 50s, something like that. And I have quite the collection, and so anytime my family members see a piece of that Fire King jadeite, I'll try to show that in another mixer. And when they see that, they always grab up those pieces for me, and it's just a collection I have had. Oh, let's see, probably going over 25 years. And so I don't really collect a lot of things, but my jadeite dishes, yes, I love them. Now, I've been trying to convince my hubby to let me use them more, but, you know, he says, no, you can't replace them. No, you really can't. But if I don't have some memories with that collection, then I don't think my little one would keep it. So along with the collection, you also have to create some memories with that collection. Just like our paper. Absolutely. Okay, so for my green, and I have it all stacked here, so I'll just show it in stacks, is that right here, and you can see it in the beginning, I have one of those tall pieces of the My Mind's Eye. I don't know how I luck out that I have one of those tall pieces of My Mind's Eye paper for my dividers, but you know, I bought a lot of My Mind's Eye paper in the years. So this is my jadeite green, but then my jadeite green is in two sections because I have two shades of jadeite green, and so that would be this right here. So there is my light, and then this is like my medium or dark jadeite green. And is that perfect? No, but close enough for perfect for me. And a lot of my subscribers we were talking about that among ourselves, that this isn't about perfection, and you're never going to get perfection when you're sorting papers because it's impossible for that perfection because of the spectrum of colors, and each manufacturer uses different tones, so there's no perfection. So for me, I took my jadeite green, and you can see here on the left I went light, and then here at the end, so basically two groups, light jadeite green and dark jadeite green. And some people would call this mint. It's whatever your interpretation is. So again, no wrong way. So that is in the front of my green because that is, you know, my favorite color. So whatever you have a favorite color in, you can always make sure you keep that a little bit separate from your other papers. Again, there's no wrong way to do that. So then my next group, of course, would be what? Light. And so that is what all this is. It's just light pieces of paper. Again, is all of this perfection? No, but close enough. Yes. So then the next group is bright. And I don't have a lot of bright because bright to me is almost like getting into the neon fluorescent. I don't really use that, but there is room for that in my space. So there are my bright. And then this is a group, I think, yes, I know. I got 25 sheets of this. I think this is jelly bean soup. So I put half of it in bright and half of it in medium because it could go either way. And so when you have papers that you have more than one of, split up the family, you'll see it twice, because definitely that could go into bright or that could go into medium. So then the next section, which is probably the biggest chunk of green, which is this chunk right here, that is my medium papers. And so it was so funny that Christine was telling me that my purge pile that I showed in the last sorting paper video, she said, that's more than the pattern paper I own. And so I was telling Christine, I said, you would faint in shock how much paper I have. I truly have a lot of paper, but then that would stand to reason because paper is my favorite aspect to this hobby. So whatever your favorite is, if you have a lot of it, that's why you have a, you know, that's why it's your favorite, because you have a lot of it. And so for me, if I had to get rid of everything in my space but one thing, it would be paper would be the one that I would keep a hold of because I love it the most. You can do the most with it. So that is my medium section, and you can see there is no light to medium to dark in this medium group. It's just whatever I thought fell in that medium spectrum. And when you do it that way, you only have 4 choices to make: light, bright, medium, and dark. And if it doesn't fit in there, you just wing it and throw it in a pile and call it good. And of course, this would be my dark. And then you can see that I have some of my very, very dark at the very end. And that just helps me when I see it lined up on my shelf. You can see in a quick manner where the green is starting, where's the green ending. So that's why I did that. But you can see some of this. That's not really in order. Oh man, I tell you. And I recently, well, no, in the last 2 years, I knew that dark green is something I don't have a lot of while I was building some kits. So whenever I see dark green, I try to buy more than one of it, especially this Bow Bunny paper. Very, very pretty. It's from Garden Party, and it's called Lush. I really wish I could have like 25 sheets of that. That is very pretty. I'm not crazy about that. I could probably only use that about once in my life. But I love that green. And then, of course, these dark green. Cartabella. You can find this on clearance at a lot of stores. It is Cartabella, Fall Blessings, and it's called Arrows. And so, of course, I have some of this in my fall, but I bought a couple just for that hunter green. And it seems like a lot of collections are coming out with that, not only for fall, but also to Christmas. So that's interesting. So that is my green. So, Nancy Jo, I hope that was a little bit of something fun. And so for me, it went very simple because I went with that four grouping of light, medium, no, light, bright, medium, and dark. And so the only thing I added to that was my Jadeite green. And so then, of course, because I had a lot of Jadeite green, it's my favorite, and I go for it a lot, I did separate it into light and dark. So very simple. So what's next on my list? Okay, let's talk about one thing is, first of all, you need to go over to Deborah's Facebook group. Those ladies are hopping with inspirations, and there is like every hour, literally every hour, someone is sharing something or posting something. It is one happening place. And so I wanted to say, I always say Deborah's Facebook group, but the name of that group is Love RTS. And so I apologize for that. I always say Deborah's Facebook group, but that is the name for it. If you're looking for it, it's not called Deborah's Facebook group. That's just what I call it because it is hers, and I titled it Love RTS. And so there'll be a link below, and you can always look in the comment section because Deborah checks in on every single video, so definitely check into that. Okay, so also when it came to these papers, I got several questions as to what did I do with that purge pile, and what that purge pile is going to end up going to my sister. It's going for her Sunday school class because a lot of my subscribers had said they don't excuse me, know where to purge. So libraries are always someone who a place that always takes paper. And then also, especially in this size, because they can use it for crafts. And then also to, if you have Sunday school classes, things like that, elementary classes, teachers love this kind of stuff. So yes, there's always a place for that. And there's always a want for that for a de-stash. So if you have a lot that you want to purge, definitely do a de-stash. Someone would absolutely buy it from you. And also, if you don't want to sell it, they'll pay for the postage. A lot of people like getting things at a discount. So there's always that option of de-stashing it and making a little bit of money. But I will have to tell you, if you're going to send paper, make sure you do it in a flat rate box. And that flat rate is $14.83. So keep that in consideration. Paper is very heavy to send. Very heavy to send. Okay, so the next thing is the Bible study that I had talked about. I wanted to bring this up just briefly, that this is the book, Remembering the Forgotten God. And I had said that you could go over to Lisa's channel at Made New to Create, and there was a glitch in the first week, and so she had to use Maria's channel at PinkCraftyWorld. I will have Maria's channel and Lisa's channel listed below. So the first week that we started is under Maria's channel because there was just a glitch, and luckily Maria was gracious enough to let Lisa host it on there, and so that we are getting ready to start session 2. So that happens every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern, but it's a live stream, so you can always go back. You don't have to make that 3 o'clock deadline. I just wanted to say that because some people did have trouble finding that. Okay, so then what else? When it came to the piles, let's go back to that. One of my subscribers, Gabriella, she brought up a really, really great point. And she said that when she has a purge pile, she basically considers that her last chance pile. And I really thought it was a good approach because she said any paper she didn't like, it went into her purge pile, which was called last chance. And so she would give it one last chance. And so she would use it for mixed media experiments. And I thought that is a really great idea. So thank you for sharing that, Gabriella, because that is really what I do is when I don't like something, I, of course, look at both sides. If I don't like it, then it goes in the purge pile. But before it goes in the purge pile, I will flip it over. And if it has a light or a white background that I can use as a base page, that's where it goes before it goes out of the house. So that's always an option too. So I think we're down to one more thing. Yes, we covered the purge pile and Deborah's Facebook group of Love RTS, Gabriella Bible Study, and Nancy Joe wanted to see that stack of green paper. So let's talk about something that's happening in October, because one of my lovely little friends, Shannon, over at She's Crafty, she had contacted me and said, for the October session of Mini Kit Monday, they wanted to do something with the 4 for 4 series. So she said, could you recommend 4 different measurements or 4 different designs? What could you do? So what I did was I came up with a little mini, get it, mini 4 for 4 series. And so I want you to look at all the girls that participate in that, but start with Becky bidding, and her channel will be linked below, because then Becky also has a Facebook group where you may see some pictures about that I sent to Shannon that you could follow along with us if you wanted. And they always have challenges and stuff over at Becky's Facebook group and that Mini Kit Monday. So check into that. This is just something fun, because Mini Kit Monday really is that. You're just making a mini kit and you're using it for the month. And so what I did was, when Shannon had asked me that, is that what I did was I wanted to create a little 4 for 4 series that was a minimal amount of effort. You get it? Minimal for mini. Yeah. So basically, we take 4 pieces of paper and we cut them into 3 pieces of paper. It's so easy. So I'm not going to share the measurements and all that stuff. That is all part of the Mini Kit Monday. Go over to Becky and Shannon's channel and look at, and they'll have all of the details listed for the month of October. And so I don't want to give anything away ahead of time, because they may do it per week or something like that. But definitely the links will be below. So what I did was I used 4 pieces of paper, and this is basically, I have mine all divvied out because I did this myself. Yes, absolutely. So not only did I come up with this for the gals at the Mini Kit Monday, but I'm also going to do it for myself whenever I have time. So basically 4 pieces of paper, minimal amount of effort, and you can get 4 layouts. Now that is fun. Yes, there's no cards or anything involved with that round for the Mini Kit girls. It's just a fun little exercise. And so these are the papers you can see that I'm playing with right there. We have this floral, we have this pink, we have this beautiful turquoise, and then also, what was the other? Oh, this yellow. That mine's not yellow. And so then my bonus sheet was, I had some of these crepe papers. So these are my bonus sheets, and as I was going through some papers, I found not 2, but I found 2 of the same one, and then I also found this one right here. So it'll be fun to play with this. And so of course I have all mine divvied up, and I did share with Shannon some very, very rough photos of putting these papers together if you wanted to, if you wanted a little bit of guide on that. So definitely check out Becky and the gang at Mini Kit Monday, and then also to their Facebook group. I'm sure those pictures will be floating around. So if you see this was what that I did for the girls at the Mini Kit Monday. So that, again, just something fun. Just simply take 4 pieces of paper and make 3 cuts and come up with 4 layouts. Very, very simple. So that is the Mini Kit Monday, girls. Okay, so I think that was about it. Whew, man, I don't think I stopped talking. Man, motor mouth here, I know. But what have you been getting into? What are you excited to do for the month of October? Of course, we have Kit Crunch going on, and then we have our 6x6 paper pad series. Yes, so definitely be hitting that notification bell. And sometimes that notification bell, that little puppy just does not work. So definitely what I do is I go into my subscriptions and then I look and see. I don't rely on the notification bell any longer. To me, I just think it's very flawed at this point. So I just hit my subscriptions and then I see what people loaded. But definitely that is what we are doing here at October. We're doing a 6x6 paper pad series. That'll be fun. And then also to our Kit Crunch, playing with some fall supplies. Absolutely. So that is what I have for this 15-minute mixer. I probably talk more in 15 minutes. Oh well, that's fun. It's good to get together and hang out with other scrappy peeps. Absolutely. And if you have some crops that you can attend this fall, definitely do it. You are worth it. This hobby is worth it. And whatever the cost is, it's worth it to get away and get with some like-minded people. And it just rejuvenates your love of this hobby, which you know I love. Absolutely. So that's all I have for this 15-minute mixer. Come back. You never know what we're going to do. Bye.